just feels tight.
So let's start off with introductions, just so we have some names off the gate. Karlo, why don't you just introduce yourself? Tell us who you are, what you do, why you do it.
Oh boy, my name is Karlo Gesner. I am traditionally known as a photographer. Started out in weddings like most photographers, graduated to commercial photography, worked for some local magazines, developed some video skills. You may have seen me zipping around town in an electric skateboard, whether that's daytime or night. I usually have like this purple lightsaber type of thing that I ride around with. And as of recent, I've been blasting EDM from my speaker on my backpack. So it's so funny because like, especially in the photography world, they try to niche you down, be like, oh, this person does that, or this person does that. Weddings, this person does product photography, but I do a lot of different things. So I've recently kind of redefined myself as I'm an artist. I use photo and video and audio to communicate. And I also have just a deep love for vibes and communities around vibes. So that's pretty much me in a nutshell.
Yeah. No, I love that. We'll get back to some of that in a second. And you, sir.
Yes, I'm Ross Campanella, aka BossRoss. That's my DJ name. For DJing, I've been doing it for about 5 years now. And I started up in like State College area, just in college. Did some clubs, did weddings, did house parties, did formals, kind of like most of the gigs that you can do as a DJ. And like Karlo, like I'm trying to specify what I do, just because like there's so many avenues that you can go down as a DJ. But like for me personally, I like EDM, I like house music, I like using CDJs. So that's kind of what I'm trying to specialize in as far as that is concerned. And then like my day job, I work for an environmental restoration company. I'm also a percussion instructor. I teach drum lines for a couple high schools, and I also perform in a drum and bugle corps. So I'm a musician at heart, trying to make that kind of like a full-time gig for me.
Yeah. Well, gentlemen, I mean, it's we're certainly three peas in a pod. I mean, I am if you think podcasting for Tone Tailors is the only thing I do on a daily basis, you'd be very, very wrong. I am also too just right there with you guys. I've been an entertainer my whole life. Started out as early as I can remember, parents signing me up for karate, which was in itself, me in front of people doing the thing, and then that quickly turned into dancing, which quickly turned into magic, which quickly turned into now I've been DJing weddings for the last 10 years as well. And Ross, I'm sure you and I have crossed paths before. So I mean, the trying to figure out what it is that you do and bringing all of those pieces together. And I mean, Karlo, just like on your side of it too, we also have cameras, and I film and do the photos, and I own Pixel and Hammer, and it's, made Tone Tailor's website, and et cetera, and all of that just kind of comes into it. And it's really, honestly, at the end of the day, I didn't accept the term entrepreneur for myself until like 2 years ago, even though I've been doing it for the last like 10 to 15. And it's this very, very interesting, but very fun journey to kind of figure that out for yourself and what that label is. And I mean, even until like last year, when it comes to DJing, I'm more on the entertaining side than maybe the DJing and mixing side of things. And so like, I just talked to my buddy Justin the other day, and I said, look, man, I think honestly, at the end of the day, I would call myself an entertainer first and a DJ second. And so, because there's people like you, like Ross, like Jason, like whoever else is in the EDM scene within Lancaster and Central PA and beyond, your skill sets are better. You have a little bit better understanding of the mixing or whatever. But when it comes to me, I'm more of a dancer, the energy, the crowd, the paying attention to them, and then the music second kind of situation. So there's like so many, the world is just so vast to the point where you can start with doing something like wedding photography, and then you get into the commercial stuff, and then you start, well, I got a camera, it has video functionality, and now I'm filming stuff too, to the point where then it leads you on this journey to you now filming for Ross, correct?
That is correct. Yep.
Yeah, and so is the hour or so long video out now your first and only piece together?
Yeah.
It is. Yeah, you can find it on Ross's YouTube. Am I allowed to share screen?
Sure. Yeah, go for it.
Ross, I forget how we got connected. Did you connect me directly?
So I was looking to shoot a music video because I shot one earlier in the year with one of my friends. Just like a friend from my one of my brother's friends who like used to make a bunch of videos with his family, and I knew he was really good with that kind of video editing stuff. So we shot this video in this alley in Baltimore, where from the ground to the top of the walls is covered in graffiti.
Yeah.
So it's a super cool spot. I just like brought my setup, got like a portable generator, and like powered everything, and just we shot this video. It was also an hour long set, but I wanted something like more professional. Not that wasn't professional, but I was looking for like a abandoned warehouse type thing to shoot my next video, and I needed like somebody who like had connections to get that. So I went online, try and find a photographer. I messaged this one guy, and he said that he does more like headshots or like whatever stuff. He like didn't do what I was looking for, but he got me in contact with Karlo. And so then we met, and then I told him what I was looking for, and then the rest is history. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really cool. Oh, go ahead.
No. Keep going. Sorry.
I was gonna say, like, first meeting with Ross was really interesting. I've done a couple music videos in the past, primarily 5-minute long music videos for like indie rock bands. Some what was it? Not post-hardcore, but they were like, yeah. Anyway, some friends' bands I did some music videos for, and for me, it was always like a creative endeavor as opposed to a business endeavor because coming from a photography background, I was learning how to do video, and I get excited about the technology that I have and learning how to maximize it. And yeah, when you're working with a band, you had to think about audio and syncing the track with what the band's playing, and whole other level of just technical expertise that is required. So when we went to go meet with Ross, me and my music video partner Vedo, otherwise known as Underrated Visuals, we went to go meet with Ross, and yeah, I'm expecting. Yeah, I'm looking for like a 10-minute music video, that type of thing. Ross, is trying to convey to us. He's like, I'm looking for a 1 hour music video, and like me and Veto, like I know me, my eyes popped. I was like, "Are you sure you want a 1 hour music
Yeah.
video?"
No, yeah.
Good. Typically in the video world, especially these days, you're trying to hold people's attention for a short amount of time.
Right.
You think about TikTok reels and just the way social media works. If you can captivate their attention for 15 seconds, that's really all you're looking for.
Mhm.
And then as we dug deeper and Ross further explained, he's like, I'm really into the live performance aspect of what I do. Not just one of those DJs that just gets up there, hits play, and bounces around.
Yep.
He does bounce around, but he's also, twisting knobs and hitting pads and making unique shifts and transitions from song to song. Like he is a musician, behind the turntable, so to speak. So once we understood that, then we kind of kicked things off into pre-production and started nailing down the details that he wanted, and then mixing them with our creative ideas as well to create this music video for him.
Yeah, like my idea was like, if you go on YouTube and you type in like James Hype or Fisher or whatever, they have hour-long sets of them at like festivals like doing their show.
Yep.
And so I wanted to show that I'm capable of doing exactly what they're doing, except my catch is like the camera is on me doing like my hands on the decks. I'm not hiding what I'm doing because like there are DJs who like have pre-recorded sets and they'll just go up there and like press a button. I literally saw a video the other day on Instagram. There's this like DJ at like this like show, and he had like this barrier, and there literally wasn't even like decks or anything. He was
Right.
just like pressing air, and like it was a pre-recorded thing, which like you know as a DJ, your number one goal is the crowd having fun.
Yeah.
Like that's all that matters.
Right.
So like whether or not you're actually doing anything or you're like literally like pressing air, it doesn't matter as long as the crowd is having a good time. Me personally, I get bored if I'm just standing there and not doing anything. I got to be manipulating everything.
Oh,
That's
100%.
why like I use CDJs and I can do everything, and I have a lot of fun with it. That's just kind of my style. But like I'm not saying that my way is better than your way or anybody else's way. As long as the crowd is having a good time, that's what matters for DJing.
Yeah, oh, 100%.
Yeah.
It's always I'm sure you've experienced this before, but just, getting ready for that party time at a wedding, and it's like, okay, here we go. We got to have a good time. And then you're about 3 or 4 songs in and it's just not a dancing crowd, and you're switching up your genres and you're playing a line dance or today's hits, do some oldies, see what works, see what sticks, and then it's kind of like a dead floor, and then you feel like, well, is it me? Is it
Yeah.
me? And then but then there's that one snap, and then boom, they're all back 25 plus, and it's just everyone's jumping. And you
Yeah.
have to, because it's contagious. I fully get it. Did you, now on that same topic, did you tell me about behind the camera when filming that video? I'm assuming it was just you guys there. So was that a challenge, kind of getting into that energetic vibe of people in front of you on a dance floor, club, wedding, whatever, when it's just you guys and a camera? How was that challenge for you?
I would say like the first, I don't know, like 20
Yeah.
minutes was like at least for me as a performer, as like a little stiff just because there's no like feedback that I get. As I went through, I got more loose, and you could see that like I'm definitely like dancing and having fun. Definitely helps to have a crowd in front of you when you're a DJ. It's hard to do that, but I have experience doing videos like this when I was in college. I was a music major in college, and so I recorded a bunch of pieces,
Mm.
like marimba solos, vibe solos, stuff like that. So I have some experience like kind of performing with cameras on you, and it's like go, and there's like no feedback from anybody. You just gotta like produce that same product, just kind of like in a studio.
Yeah. And about the filming, was this all one take? Did we splice? How talk to me about that process.
Yes and no. So it was all one takes, but our cameras can only last so long just because of I mean, you can explain it better.
Yeah. We had what did we have? We had a 1, 2, 3, 4 camera setup.
Yep.
So we had camera left on a tripod, camera right on a tripod that was a little bit more zoomed in. We're shooting at 4K, so we can kind of bounce in and out because we are delivering in 1080. So it just gave us more angles because that was a challenge. 1 hour music video. How do we keep everyone's attention this whole time?
Right.
And from a visual aspect, we had one camera that was on a gimbal that Veto was running. And if you watch the video closely, all those like floating, panning camera movements are all Veto. He's running around a warehouse holding this probably 15, 20 pound setup.
Yep.
At one point he took his shirt off, which I was like, yeah, like let's go, let's get into this. You know what I mean?
Turned into that kind of DJ set. I get it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he was just sweating it up, man. The guy was
Yeah.
burning calories running around with his camera.
Hell yeah.
And then we had a 360 camera that was sitting just in front of the decks that was facing up. So we were really happy with the camera angles. I was shooting with 1, 2, 3 R6s, Canon R6s.
Wow.
Which is really good for the mirrorless lineup. I've since upgraded, but they have overheating issues.
Well, don't they all? You know,
Yeah.
it's just like you can't. It's like the number one thing we were shooting a video for one of our Pixel and Hammer clients a few years ago, and it was pretty much an all day shoot. And towards the end, we were like in their back room where their main AC vent was, just holding our Sony A7
They were doing the exact same thing.
up to the AC unit. Give us 10 minutes, guys, and then we should have a solid 60 more minutes of filming before this happens again. Like, it's just ridiculous. And so speaking of cameras, to nerd out a little bit, are we interested in the Nikon Red collaboration, that new no?
Not me personally. I mean, I upgraded from an R6 to R6 Mark II, and the R6 Mark II does not have overheating issues. So I'm probably upgrade the other R6 to a R6 Mark II. I run with 2 cameras, especially with photography. You got one as a primary, one as a backup. So you never chance of failure on the job. You don't totally botch it.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then also having 2 R6 Mark IIs of the same camera to record video with is convenient. So it's great.
Yeah, slice and dice. Love that. Awesome. Go ahead.
The goal was to make it look like one take.
Yes.
So it just so happened to work out that I didn't need to make any retakes. Like we got first takes for all of it, which is like really cool.
Yeah.
I was pretty pleased with the shots that we got. But then Karlo and Veto did their editing magic, and it's seamless.
Awesome.
It's really cool.
I couldn't imagine how the energy it would take to do the entire thing again. So that first take is where it really counts. So no, I get it. And I mean, having 4 or 5 cameras running at the same time is how we make that happen. Awesome. I love camera magic. Dude, let's talk about the Lancaster music scene. That's what this podcast is all about. And just part of mainly the reason why we have you guys on here today. So your main bread and butter right now at Tellus? Is that where the main kind of shows and where we can find you?
Yeah, so this was our very first show. And right off the bat, we weren't planning on having a full-blown EDM night. We were just so stoked on the footage and the final product. They were like, we should have a music video premiere,
Right.
And celebrate this moment and celebrate Ross and the fact that the accomplishment that we made this. And then I was thinking to myself, like, is it going to be like, we got to have people to play it in front of. When was the last time you saw an advertisement for a music video premiere and you're like, oh, I got to go to that? You know what I mean? Without any background knowledge, at least. So our whole goal was, let's get this video played in front of people. We need people to play in front of. Ross has his friends, I have my friends, and all that type of stuff. And then I was thinking to myself, I don't want to pay any money for the music video premiere. I don't.
Yep.
So I said, well, why don't we just do a full-blown EDM night? And that was the idea. I knew Bill Speakman over at Tellus 360, who does all the booking. So I ran the idea past him. He's like, yeah. He's like, if you can get the people in a room on a Thursday night, we worked out a split at the door. They win as a business with their alcohol sales. We win because we have people in the room.
Yep.
And for me personally, like, yeah, I'm married with kids. I'm not out at the clubs, like I used to be or anything like that. So I really had no concept whether or not there was an EDM scene or not.
Right.
I just knew like club DJs, and we had gotten in touch with some EDM folks that hooked us up with the location. But yeah, that was kind of like the big idea. Like, let's throw an EDM night with a music video premiere. And then as I started talking to people about it, it's a funny thing about EDM. People either love it or they don't.
Right.
Yeah, I have one friend who's like, it gives me anxiety.
Yeah.
And then there's people like myself, and Ross, obviously, where, when I edit, I love to listen to music with no lyrics or no vocals.
Gotcha.
Just gets me in that productivity mode. Like, Trent Reznor, Atticus Ross, social media soundtrack, or was that it? The social, the movie about Facebook, the birth of Facebook. I love that soundtrack to edit to. It just keeps me productive and in the zone.
Yeah.
But yeah, the more people we talk to, they're like, yeah, like that would be really cool. And then a week before the show, like we made the arrangements, we were starting to build the lineup. I was kind of building the airplane as it was flying because I had never done this before. I'm not a promoter. I had some background being in a band and working in theater when I was in like high school and college, so I knew some of the stuff. But yeah, we started. I mean, our original lineup had Major Vibes on there, who I would consider a friend of mine. But a week before the show, we had 2 tickets sold.
Nice. Yeah. Yep. That's typically how it goes, right? Yeah. I mean,
yeah. I didn't know that. I was sweating bullets. I was freaking out.
Yeah, we tackled the whole live event thing at Tailors a few years ago. We did a Stage Fright Battle of the Bands around this time, Halloween, kind of last year, and we had plenty, hundreds of bands signed up that we had to go through. But when it came to planning 3 different nights of night 1 of the battle, semifinals, and a finale show, and getting people to come to that, I mean, it was just our closest friends and family each time, and even every other night beyond that, half of them didn't show up. And so trust me, I've been trying to get people to buy tickets to shows even back in 2000 and probably 2009, 2010, when the Chameleon Club was still a thing, and we thought we were hot shit because we got in there. So that was I get it. Yeah, apologies. So okay, so a week out, 2 tickets sold. What's the move?
Well, I mean, I was talking to Major Vibes and I was like, dude, I'm freaking out right now. Like the show's in a week. We have everything lined up, but we don't have any tickets sold.
Yep.
And Bill, the booking agent, was like, yeah, I'd really like to see more progress on this. So I'm like, shit, I'm going to let everybody down. So I was in that mode. And then coincidentally, I got a DM on Instagram from this DJ from Phoenix. And she's like, is there any room left on this bill? I'd love to play it. She gave me the lowdown. I play a bunch of festivals in Phoenix. I specialize in house. And then I think it was like techno bass or something like that. And she's like, I happen to be from Lidditz, and I happen to be flying in the day of the show. And then, obviously she was great about like, it's going to be kind of a homecoming for her. Like, I think her friends had been watching her DJ progress online. A lot of them had never seen her in person. So she said, I can bring a lot of friends to the show. My brother's in college. He can help promote. Like, I basically, from hearing her, I was like, okay, this sounds like 20 to 30 people.
Sounds like a golden ticket, right?
Yeah. And then I listened to her music, which is, important. Gotta listen to it, and I really liked it. So it was very serendipitous in that moment. And then so I had to talk to Major Vibes, and I was kind of like, hey man, like I really, really, really appreciate your involvement with this and your support with this. He was playing Wednesday the night before the show and Friday after the show. So I'm thinking to myself, like, that might water down his fan base a little bit, getting people to come out 3 nights in a row. Yeah, so I was like, man, with your blessing, I'd really love to swap you out for this DJ that contacted me. He seemed like slightly disappointed, but also at the same time, he was like, "Hey, man, like I totally understand. There's a business to it, you know,
Yeah.
and it's like you got to do what's best for everybody involved." So yeah, with that, we made the swap, and then from there, we got to announce that we had a DJ coming in from Phoenix.
Mm.
And then we started real heavy on the promotion, online and things like that, and just pumping it out there. And then, we are getting views, we're getting shares. Pairing up with Tellus's Instagram is fantastic because I think they have like 10,000 followers or
Yep.
something like that. And then, we started watching the numbers climb, started to watch some online ticket sales happening, connecting with everyone involved. People were like, I got at least 10 people coming. I got 15 people coming.
Wow.
And then I started hitting the streets. I'm old school, dude.
Yeah.
Like I did a lot of promo in like the 2000s for my own band.
Uh-huh.
And back then it was like MySpace, that type of thing. You had MySpace and a website.
Yep.
But I'm a big fan of just like flyering,
Okay.
just going out and flyering. So what I
Old school,
did
yeah.
is let's see here. I got some footage. But basically what I was doing was I ride an electric skateboard. That's me with my light per normal,
Yep.
blasting EDM from my speaker. And we would hit up the Tellus crowd on Friday and Saturday night because we always knew there was a line.
Smart. Smart. So you got there before they got in. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're just hanging out, me and my buddy Josh, who was helping me out, and we got a fistful of flyers. I got EDM music blasting, and we're just talking to folks,
Yep.
having conversations, showing about it, and the response was great. It was that classic EDM night. Whoa, what's this? Just with enthusiasm, which I absolutely loved.
Wow.
And people were willing to pose, and people that wanted to go to the show. So we're just pumping out that social media, getting some excitement, and just kind of passing on that energy.
You're creating awareness, you're creating attention, you're creating content with them in the photo. I mean it's honestly that. And how many tickets were sold? How many people showed up?
We got 100 people through the door.
I mean, for your first, it's just, it's essentially, the story starts as every other artist, band, DJ, musician, guitar player who wants to do their first gig on a stage at a decent venue that people know, people can go to. It's not just like your backyard, even though All American Rejects are trying to change that, whatever. But like, and yeah, we've all been there. A week before the show, we've got 2 tickets sold, and it's like my mom, dude. And so now, what is this? Is this what I'm gonna do? Is this how we're gonna kick off my, inevitable future? And it's like half depressing, and it's like, do we just scrap the whole thing? What do we do? And then just that whole, if you have that basic understanding, you will be able to market and make any event successful. That is exactly what every single person on this planet that needs to sell tickets to any form of show needs to do. You go. I'll be honest with you, even 10 years ago, I remember saying this to somebody as dating advice. If you want to find a boyfriend who's into X, Y, and Z, you go there, and that's where you're going to meet him. You want to meet someone at a bookstore or a library, you got to go there. And so if you need people to come to Tellus 360 to your EDM show, well, by God, go there, Isn't that so fun? And so that is genius. One, I commend you. Just
Thank you.
all around. And so now it's obviously, have we done a night 2 yet? Is that coming soon, in the works?
It's in the works.
Okay.
It's in the works. Yeah, I actually have a meeting with Bill today.
Oh,
and then
good.
over at Tellus. And then Ross really helped out. We had an editing session where we finalized and delivered his video, made sure everything was perfect. per his specs and per our specs. Like we just got to the point where it's like, okay, this thing's pressed, ready to go.
Yep.
But I don't know. What do you think of me? Was I a nutcase, like trying to figure out this whole thing?
Oh no, I wouldn't say that. I'd say he says he's never done this before, but
Yeah.
it seems like he's been doing this forever. I mean, it all worked out. There were like no like major hiccups aside from ticket sales, but like I know my generation, we don't plan ahead. We just show up when we feel like it. So like I wasn't too worried because I knew like people are just gonna show up at the door. They're not gonna buy tickets. And I know like I got a bunch of messages like the day of like, hey, what's that promo code? I got a few friends who want to come.
Yeah.
Um, so it like yeah, but Carla did a fantastic job. Definitely pleased with that.
It was one of those things that like I wanted to do it again for the EDM community and for the energy in the room.
Mhm.
Um, I'm a business person as well as an artist.
Yep.
I have a photography business, I have a video business, I have sales goals that I know that I need to make in order to for my family and for all those things, with purpose. I also support my wife's business. She owns an early learning center out in Landisville. So like my calendar's pretty booked and
Yep.
I had to prioritize it. And to be honest with you, like the week before the show, I was out 5, 6 nights out week doing promo, running flyers, like all that type of stuff. That's usually family time.
Yep. Yep.
So my wife was very like, she was supportive in that way where she was like, yeah, go do what you need to do. But then the next time I saw her, it was kind of like a little tension in the air,
Yep.
a little tension in the air.
Yeah. And
So, yeah. You can relate. Are you married?
yes. Yeah, we just got back from Mexico last month, just a small little thing with family and friends, but we've also been together since I don't know, it's just like eighth grade or ninth grade or something crazy, 17-ish years. So, but but I totally get it. It's always been 100% support. But then when it becomes, 2019 was the year for us. I mean, we had our son that year, and I was working full time at the company I now own, and I also I also said yes to every single person who needed us for their wedding that year. So we did, I think on the books that year it was 56 weddings.
Wow.
And it's just my business partner Justin and I. So if we had more than a DJ and one camera service, well, we were scrambling. So 56 weddings over the course of pretty much every weekend of the year, plus working full time, plus she worked at the time, plus a newborn. We've had those conversations as well, but it's certainly the thrill of it. And I mean, it's the chase. You're there. You're there for your energy, whether it's an EDM crowd or just that entrepreneurial. We're not selling tickets. I've got to get out there on my skateboard and just light up the town. And so I love that hustle. Are you a Gary Vee fan?
Love Gary Vee.
Uh-huh.
Love Gary Vee. Yeah.
Yes, we've got some. I'm getting that from you. Yes, I love that. He's it's a situation where as I'm sure you have too, been following Gary Vee long enough to see the patterns within the things he says and does, to the point where it's like 10 years ago, he's telling you got to be on Snapchat and LinkedIn, and then boop, there's that bubble. Like, now he's telling you if you're not on AI now, you're falling behind, and live selling and all the trend. And it's like, well, the man just obviously has been right 10 times in the last 10 years. So let's start paying attention and actually like, yeah, he can be annoying sometimes. Does he say things like, hey, wake up and pretend that your family is kidnapped in a closet, or whatever the outrageous things he might sometimes say? But it's like, at the end of the day, he's got a point. So
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
no. Well, if
I was just gonna say, like Gary Vee, I'm always curious about his home life and his personal life and stuff like that. I know he 100% keeps that off the internet.
yeah,
you know. But I'm always curious about these hustlers that are flying here and flying there. Me personally, I don't want to have a FaceTime relationship with my child.
Yep.
I mean, it's kind of like, it's if you are traveling within a certain amount, and that's fine. That's just my personal belief. And I know it works for us. But yeah, I was missing out night. We have dinner together. We watch TV shows together at the end of the day. We play some Dutch Blitz as a family and stuff. So that week I just was just gone.
Yep.
So that was kind of like, on one hand, I was on stage at the end of the EDM night show. I was emceeing, and I basically said to the audience, I said, "Should we do this again?"
Yeah.
And it was a palpable roar from
Right.
the 100 people that were there.
Right.
So I was like, okay, all right, this is an indicator. I can feel it. Like this has viability. And then on the flip side of that, I had, my wife whose arms were probably crossed a little bit and being
In the back of the room, just see it. Yeah.
So, because again, this is all came out of an idea. It wasn't really like we didn't like lay down. This was not. If you would have asked me 2 months ago, hey, would you like to throw an EDM night? I'd be like, you're crazy. But yeah, so I'm a big fan of like working out the logistics and planning and things like that. And Ross really helped me just kind of process and like bounce a few things off of. I was like, well, shoot, we've got momentum. If we can get a Friday night, either at Tellus or possibly somewhere else, that would be a bonus because, it's not a weeknight or school night, whatever. And then if we had that momentum, and then I just promote on my skateboard Friday and Saturday, the week before the show.
Right.
And then I have the night of the show. Then I've kind of quantified it. I was like, okay, I can do 3 evenings away from the fam.
Yep.
And then I ran a spreadsheet, and I was just kind of like, okay, if we can sell 150, 200 tickets, this is totally worth it.
How much?
From my time invested into it. And we can satisfy the EDM community. So it's just like win-win-win there, kind of complete circle,
It's I mean the fact that you have had just one under your belt and now what seems like an entire roadmap of a business plan within that amount of time is impressive. Ross, what about you, man? So you got the music video under your belt, you've got this EDM night under your belt, plus the experiences. I'm sure you're still or have done weddings in the past. Is this where you're headed? Are you going? Is this kind of your maybe where you foresee your future as a DJ? Are you still gonna dabble in the weddings? Because I know a lot of vendors, once they get out of that wedding scene, it's really that kind of that decision in the sand. So I'm just curious.
Yeah. So my goal has always been like clubs and festivals.
Okay.
For my EDM stuff. Obviously, like I love doing weddings. Those are super fun to do. And you make a lot of money doing that. It's really easy to like as a DJ. It's just pretty straightforward stuff. But yeah, my goal is clubs, festivals. So I've just been trying to get in. My challenge was like getting somebody to take me seriously and actually give me a shot. I've been like emailing like every venue on the East Coast, basically just like, hey, check out my mix. Like, yeah, I can do this type of thing. And like no one responds. Some like maybe I'll get like one response here or there, but then like nothing follows up. And like I've done like open decks in a bunch of different cities, just trying to like kind of get my name out there. But there's a ton of DJs out there,
Right.
and it's like this is a business. So like people don't want like some startup DJ. They want somebody who's going to sell tickets right away and make a money.
Sure.
So this has been a great opportunity for me because it shows that like I'm actually like a competent DJ. I can get people to come in the door. I can actually like do an hour set,
Right.
which is like what the professionals are doing. So my goal is to kind of like get my name out in this local Lancaster area, maybe like get gigs at the HMAC, the Village,
Yep.
and then like hopefully get to the point where I can, like my brother lives out in Denver, like I'd just be able to go out, visit him for a weekend and like, do a set somewhere over there.
Hell yeah.
So like that's kind of what I'm trying to go for.
Dude, okay. Well, I've got two suggestions here. One, I'm sure you have it, but we gotta get you like a kick-ass like EDM DJ, just like landing page with that video on it, testimonials, like brands you work, like just a really banging kind of online presence there. And two, not sure what your schedule's like, but I'm sure you can figure something out. Live streaming on TikTok. This is my Gary V hat now. You doing an hour set or even 2 or 3 hours of DJing every night, taking requests from your chat, mixing. It doesn't need to be 100% EDM. Throw in some actual hits in there, whatever you want to do. I mean, it's your show. And just being live on TikTok for as long as you can. Right now, it's at the top of any local algorithm. So if TikTok knows you're from Lancaster and you're live for more than an hour, it's pushing that to everyone in Lancaster. And so that's going to be super. It's time consuming, but an easy kind of way. It's a dedication for sure. I've definitely pitched you just need to be live while you're working to plenty of people over the last few months, and no one's really hit me up on it. I think I've got this girl who she has like a little studio pod and as a hairdresser. And I'm like, listen, you're smart, you're attractive, you got this little thing here, it's great. You want more people in the store? Throw a phone up on a tall shit tripod in the corner of the ceiling and just let it shoot the entire studio live. If you want to talk, throw in a microphone. You got a client coming in, you don't want that to be on live, mute the microphone and then come back and just stream your whole little shop. And it's content. It's 3 hours of content, 4 hours of content. And so I think just the more you are on there and doing that, the more the algorithm pushes it. So much so, obviously, again, sorry, it's not music related, but I've got a guy down in Hanover. His name's Connor. I believe, yes, his name's Connor. And he runs a hot dog cart. He owns a little hot dog cart, him and his girlfriend. They've got a spot outside of some sporting goods store. And it was, typical hot dog cart. Two hot dogs a day, couple hot dogs a day. Started going live every day on TikTok, found out how to do it on YouTube too. Now, 3 months later, he has a concurrent viewership of 1,000 people every day. Every day from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. He's only out for 4 hours. He goes live. When he doesn't have customers, he turns around and talks to the camera. He just had someone from Texas fly from Texas to Pennsylvania just to eat one of these hot dogs because they found him on TikTok. He's live every day, so the algorithm pushes it. And now he went from 0 to 30,000 on YouTube in 3 months, all because he's just live. All because he's live. And then, boop, guess what? 3 hours of content. Now he's clipping. Now he's got a clip every day from that live stream for the week or for the day. And he's rapid fire with that content. And his business has 10x'd in the last 3 months. It's
nice.
Fascinating for he's selling hot dogs. He's selling they're the same Martin's rolls that we can all get from the store. He goes to the same Martin's chips distributor to buy the chips that we could go to. He just has a cart with a sticker on it, and he goes live every day, and that's what sets him apart, and that's what's getting people in his door. He now has a line. He sells out. Like he doesn't even need to be there till 3 o'clock because there's a line of people who just have seen him on TikTok, seen him on live. The algorithm pushes, and now his business is like we're talking. He's working on a physical location now. He went from
and also, yeah, that's awesome. Has he monetized his streams?
I believe so. He's definitely at the point where he's YouTube partner. I know that for a fact. Whether he's turned it on or not, I'm not sure. But he's now also at the point where, and you're kind of big when this starts happening. People are ripping his TikToks. So they're ripping his TikToks, starting a new account. Now that account that they're just running has like 14,000 followers on it because the algorithm, Connor's
Yeah.
continuously going live, so anything related to his business, it's going to push because TikTok doesn't know any better. And so he's been on plenty of times saying, "Yo, these people are stealing our content. They're getting monetized. They're getting paid for our content, and they're stealing it." He's talking to lawyers. Like, sure, there's a business side to it, but like when you have 1,000 people watching you live, just sell a chili cheese dog. It's fascinating. But so sorry for the food tangent, but man, I mean, you guys, you're onto something here. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think you also mentioned the village. We just got done talking to Rich Ruoff, so we will certainly put in a word for you there. I think either Monday or Wednesday nights over at the village is like their college, I think DJ kind of younger crowd kind of night where potentially EDM I think might fit in. So let's we'll hopefully help make that connection for you.
Yeah,
Awesome.
that's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was just at the village last Saturday for High Fever.
There you go. Yep.
And I was just I was there. I was there with my friend Bree. We were like checking it out. Again, as a guy that lives out in Conestoga, the wife and kids, is like not a place that I typically go.
Uh-huh.
Enjoyed myself, not necessarily my scene. Everyone there was lovely. It was totally awesome. But I got to meet the owner's son. I'm walking around the club trying to visualize what an EDM night would look like there. I think it's a great room. I think the thing that I think is a pretty key factor is getting it on a Friday or a Saturday. We just want to max and just kind of like, we want the EDM community to be like, this is happening and there's some consistency to this and we can rely on this.
Yep.
And it was crazy. Like the DMs I was getting was like, and getting tagged in stories from EDM night that we had was just kind of like, I can't believe this is happening in Lancaster. I just heard this track, is that sense of enthusiasm. So yeah, I mean, we're open to really any venue right now. I mean, I have a meeting with Bill today. I'm gonna see if I can get a Friday or Saturday in October. Might be a tough pull considering they're packing that place out every Friday and Saturday night regardless. Plus they're having their Halloween party, which is coming up, which is pretty legendary. I mean, that place packs out.
Yep.
So I just want to talk it through with him and pair up. EDM night may not be at the same place every single time. But then again, once we start bringing consistent numbers and stuff like that, maybe Tellus will give us a Friday.
Yeah.
So that's really kind of like a shout out to the EDM community. Like, you come out and this will happen more often and it'll just get bigger and better every single time.
Yeah, of course. Are you, and so, Karlo, then what is is this kind of, obviously it's your focus now, but I mean, is this kind of where you're taking your media production business? I mean, or obviously I'm sure you'll still take those corporate jobs as they come in, but is this kind of where you wanted to be, or what's kind of your?
I'm gonna wait and see.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wait and see. If it feels good, I'm gonna take a step forward.
Yeah.
And if everything lines up, family's happy, the EDM community's happy, the venue's happy, I'm happy, I'm gonna keep taking a step forward. And the thing is that, like, if it ever gets to a point where it's grown so big that one of those four parties is not happy or just the capacity is not there, I fully intend to pass it on. Because I think it's the right thing to do. I don't like it when anything dies on the vine. But I was talking to a friend about it and he was like, "Oh, are you planning on like promoting festivals and stuff?" I was like, "No, I don't plan on promoting festivals at all." But if a festival wants to call me and they say, "Hey, we're looking for a great house DJ," then use me as a resource. I got BossRoss right here. So more so as like a connector, facilitator of this type of thing. And then it's more about the scene than it is about me. I'm just a catalyst to this whole thing.
Yeah. I love it. It's so, God, I always love starting something new. It's exciting, and talking to you guys, I now feel like I need to go start a new business or do something completely opposite of what I was going to do today anyways. Yeah, no, I think it's a interesting so talk to me about, So the venues like Tellus or potentially Village or just kind of that generic venue vibe is where we're trying now. Have we considered or dipped into the smaller slash kind of house show kind of trend that we're seeing in like the DJ EDM scene? I think Here Studios is doing in-house DJ nights with like 40 or 50 people. I know it's nothing compared to your 100 plus that we're trying to kind of make money off of, and maybe that's the factor. But any thoughts there?
I'm not really familiar with what you're talking about.
Okay, yeah. So I think it's more for just not not saying anyone's smaller or bigger in the sense, but for those who don't have that access to Tellus 360 or an actual venue, the Wave is kind of doing these smaller, intimate DJ sets, where they'll either just get someone's house, and sizable that could fit comfortably like 30 to 40 to 50 people and just have that set up there and everyone is just in close proximity surrounding the DJ and it's just a big vibe. And or they're doing the same thing at like Here Music Studio. They're not using that at 7 p.m. to midnight or however late at night it is. And so they just have the DJ set up there somewhere in the studio and then everyone just kind of fills in that space. So just kind of a more intimate non-venue driven, but same thing, EDM, DJ show. So just curious if you guys have thought of that or tapped into that.
I mean, like anything to grow
Yeah.
the scene here. I think EDM is like super popular. I mean, like you just Google like rave on YouTube and you just like see like just seas of people at these like festivals and stuff. So I really think that it's something popular, something that people would want to come to. So like a smaller venue to kind of like get the EDM scene popping would be cool. I know like HMAC does like a little bit of stuff, but it's like that like dub wub whatever, like kind of like hard bass stuff, which is like personally I think it's like terrible music.
Okay.
But there
Tell us how you really feel.
there's there's like you EDM is like such a big genre. Like it means so many like just house is EDM. You got like the dub stuff's EDM, like hard bass, whatever. Like future bass. Like there's so much that could go into it. So I think there's a lot of possibilities for getting a lot of different artists and genres. So like having smaller gigs where like you can get a bunch of different DJs that kind of come in and kind of show what they can do, and then like have opportunities. Like if we can get this EDM night at Tellus or wherever going, and it becomes like a really popular thing. Then we can maybe like find talent. Like I'm a huge fan of Kill Tony.
Yeah.
And I think it's a great idea, like just having like random people come up and just like do what they want and like show their skill and talent. And like sometimes it's terrible and sometimes it's like
Wait.
amazing and it's the next big thing.
Oh.
Wait. Let's okay. Now we're talking. Let's do that. Okay, so wherever we do it, we also have friends at Mickey's Black Box, and we can talk to the manager over there, and if that makes sense, we could do something there too. That would be the coolest. So like we just have a standard DJ deck, CDJ. They bring their thumb drive. And then they've got 60 seconds to wow us with whatever transition mix they have. It's a panel. It's you, me, and Karlo. All three of us are the panel. We all have experience. You're the EDM guy. You know the sound. I'm also into the scene. Like, and then we roast the shit out of them. And we're like, hey, this is either great. You're either going to be the next best thing. And then we choose like the top 3 or 4, and then boom, those are the next. Catch this lineup at Tellus 360 next month or whatever.
I don't know, like 60 seconds might be too short for
Okay.
DJing because like songs take time to build,
Okay.
maybe like 5 minutes or something. But yeah,
Okay.
like something like that. Like just getting people to come out like that's how you find like the next big star,
Yeah.
and you know you gotta like weed through some bad acts. But like that's like just giving people a chance to show what they can do. Like that's kind of like as a aspiring artist who like
Uh-huh.
hasn't made it yet. I wish that there's more opportunities for me to like be able to uh go to the village and like show them like, hey, this is what I can do.
Yeah.
Because like you kind of need to know people in order to get a gig there, and because like they're looking for people who can sell tickets right away.
Yeah.
So if there's some sort of opportunity for new people to come in and demonstrate what they can do, that's kind of low stakes, and then maybe like from that get the opportunity to go to like a bigger show, that would be awesome. And like you can see the comedy scene from Kill Tony
Uh-huh.
has completely skyrocketed. Like there's like Austin is now the like mecca of comedy. Like
Yeah.
people flying all over the world to
Yeah.
do it, and it's all because he gave people
Yeah.
opportunities to show what they can do.
Yeah.
Cam Patterson's on Saturday Night Live now. That
Yeah.
blew my mind. I thought that was genius.
Yeah, I mean, I saw that news too, and congratulations to him. I'm curious, just a little on the fence, curious how they'll utilize him and his kind of one to two tone comedy style. He's a very not what I would have expected from SNL, but hey, I mean, this is right, like you said. If Tony, yeah, Tony's creating these monsters, and so, no, dude, I think I'm gonna, I might work on some logistics about like a Kill Tony style, like you're a DJ, come give us your top 3 to 5 minutes, and then boom, we judge, we give opinions, we ask questions, and then based on some form of criteria or whatever. Yeah, I don't know exactly what it looks like, but that would be it's almost I almost had the same idea, but just a full blown like America's Got Talent style kind of vibe. But if I think honing it into that scene, into DJing, EDM, and just yeah, really interesting thoughts all around. I'm going to be thinking all day about it. I like that.
I think it's a great idea. I think it's great. Can I throw in my 2 cents?
Yeah.
I'm like a planner.
Let's
You know
go.
what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
let's
a
go.
planner. So I think it'd be really cool to grow the EDM scene here locally through our own efforts through the end of the year. And then kind of assess it then. We definitely want to do like a Halloween-ish type of show somewhere in that area. We definitely want to do like a Christmas-ish type of show, either the week before the holidays or sometime between Christmas and New Year's might be really fun, and then see what the response is. It's just one of those things that like so I get caught up in real forward thinking a lot of the time.
Yeah.
I'll be driving to a photo shoot and I'll be saying, oh, do this and that. That would be really cool, yada, yada, yada. And then I remind myself, I haven't seen it.
Right.
I haven't seen the shoot. I haven't met the people. I don't know what the lighting's going to look like that day. So I have the saying, like, I'll see it when I see it. And that gets me to like calm down and kind of just take things in stride. So, I mean, my loose plan in my head is basically build the scene on a consistent basis for 3 to 6 months. And then we can start introducing, hey, now that we've had 30 DJs come check out the shows over the past 6 months, now we can have a Kill Tony-ish style, who's your DJ like type of thing. Yeah. For me is like, it's I think my biggest fear is launching an event on a great idea and then there's 5 people in the room.
Yeah. Well, we did it.
Like, yeah. I mean, kudos. Yeah, I mean, kudos to the effort. Kudos to the effort. Like, I love the intention and just going out and going for it. You know what I mean? It's just that, I was in a prog metal band when I was post college.
Wow.
And we played for gas money.
Yep.
We did the whole thing, and parents are raising their eyebrows at us the whole time, like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? I'm chasing the dream, Mom. I'm chasing the dream. And she's, it's like, but how are you paying your rent? It's like, this practical questions. So, but yeah, I think the idea in itself is fantastic. I would love to grow to that idea. I think it'd be awesome.
So like Major Vibes has that thing every Wednesday night where he has
Mm.
people come out for open decks. I think it would draw more people if there's like actually a chance that they could perform somewhere as opposed to just going out to like play on some decks at some open deck. Because I've done a bunch of open decks
Yeah.
trying to get my name out there, and it's like you show up and it's like just a bunch of random people, and it's like you just go up and perform to nobody, and it's like for what, like you just like to say you did an open deck or something, or get practice on whatever equipment they have.
Yep.
But like actually going to a place where it's like, hey, if you do really good, we might book you on a show, and it's like having that opportunity would be
Yeah.
really good.
I don't want to roast anybody either. It's all love. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be Simon Cowell back there and just be like, oh, your music does nothing for me. Like, I don't want to end anybody's aspirations. I'd be all about just like, here's some career advice. Like,
Yeah.
here's some
Yeah.
here's some advice from experienced DJ, yada, yada, all that type of stuff. Level them up a little bit.
Well, what you should know is that Simon Cowell's new line on his America Got Talent show is that was incredible. It's something we've never seen on this show before. If you have time and you just want to laugh, go to Peacock or wherever it's at and watch the latest season of America's Got Talent, just a couple of the auditions, and you will see acts that we have 1000% seen before. People flipping in the air, people that put projections on the screen and then dance in front of it with light suits, or does this or does that, or has a dog or whatever. And every single time, Simon Cowell will get on that microphone and be like, in all of the Got Talents, he literally said this year, in all of the Got Talents across the world, across all seasons, I've never seen this type of act before. And I literally pulled up 10 examples on YouTube 10 seconds after he said it. I lost my mind. I couldn't do it anymore. I was like, this show has lost the narrative. Side note. But yeah, it's I love it. I love it. Building to the idea is such a man, good for you. Good for you with the thought, the head on your shoulders. I mean, it's just it's a breath of fresh air to talk to guys like you who just seem to have, we're not just the idea guys that are like, yep, go, 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 go. You know what I mean? Micro speed, macro patience sometimes. Quote Gary Vee, whatever. Might have flipped it, might have reversed it. I don't know. It's fine. But at the end of the day, I mean, just you guys attempting to and successfully building the EDM scene in Lancaster is great. I love it. I can't wait to see where it goes. I can't wait to see what we can do. I mean, I know I keep name dropping here left and right, but we just got done talking to the guys putting on Lancaster Music Fest that happened last weekend. So who knows? Hey, Lancaster EDM Fest. Park, stage, sponsors, tickets. Listen, guys, we can go anywhere. We're taking taking Elon's rocket right to Mars, and that's what we're doing. So, what's coming up? What can we promote here at the end? What can people do to support, or any shows, tickets, Instagram? What do we got?
I think the best thing right now people could do, definitely follow Ross's Instagram.
Yeah.
It's BossRoss X on Instagram. You can also follow my Instagram, which is Karlo with a K, KARLO.photo.video. You'll see everything that I'm doing, not just EDM, but if you want to keep track of the EDM, just check in on the page every now and again. It just kind of shows up organically, whatever I'm doing in the moment. I think I would love it. I would love it if DJs contacted me.
Yeah.
We already have the bill lined up for the next show. Okay. We're just trying to lock in a location and date. The bill is going to be DJ Grammage in the opening spot. I met DJ Grammage at the EDM show and as I was passing out flyers.
Nice.
Yeah, I was just hanging out and like I walked up to his group and I was like, "Hey, can I give you a flyer for a cigarette?" And we did that. And then he was like, EDM show, I'm a house DJ, and then I started, and he's also in like 2 other bands. And after the show, like we had a connection, like right off the bat, like, okay, this is like a real thing here. And then the guy was like, after the show, he was just thanking me and telling me how cool of a thing this was. And then he just stayed in touch on Instagram. Yeah, I told him, I said, man, you got to get your mixes up. Like, if you want to DJ at these things, get your mixes up. He did it right away, put some stuff up on SoundCloud. sent it to me. I listened to it. This is great.
Yep.
And then he messaged me the other day and he was just kind of like, hey, I got a new mix. Check it out. Listen to it. It was great. And then I was basically like, hey, do you want to be on the next show?
Nice.
You know, and like, so he's opening in the opening spot, local college student. We got Ross in the second slot here. So you can check out the full music video on YouTube. And then I'll be pushing that out here in like the next couple days, just making people aware that the full video that we premiered and his full set is online. And then in the third slot, we've got Andrew Bahadur from
Okay.
Harrisburg, originally from London.
Wow.
I met him at a bonfire and we just talked about EDM and raves and that life for like an hour. And he was also kind of like a little bit of my guide through this entire process, just talking to him on the
Oh,
phone. And we both have the same, vision of being like, okay, this is the EDM scene. What can we do with it? How can we grow it? Like all that type of stuff. So he's just, we'll talk on the phone for like 15, 20 minutes while we're driving in traffic or back and forth and stuff and just wax on ideas. And so he's going to be in the third slot. I believe he's doing like future bass.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I love future bass.
Yeah. Yeah, and then like I said, he's tried and true, comes from the London scene, so he knows how to bring a show and bring the music. He knows it moves people. So that's the current lineup right now. And we're just trying to lock in a date and a venue. If you're a venue and you are interested in having an EDM night, please reach out to me via my Instagram. That's at carlo.photo.video. We're just, we're exploring resources. And at the end of the day, my mentality is, win for the crowd, win for the promoter, win for the artists, win for everybody, and just complete the circle and then take it to the next thing.
I mean, dude, from from DJs in London to the streets of Lancaster, you're like creating your own like Avengers of EDM Infinity Stones. It's crazy. I love it. We will have all of your links, everything on the screen down below in the description, of course. And we're gonna keep at this. We're gonna get those shows up. We're gonna get those numbers up. We're gonna get that awareness up. It's crazy. I love it. Ross, we have your Instagram, sir. Anything that you're coming up besides these shows that we've got they should know about?
Nothing coming up. Just aside from these shows, yeah, I've just been kind of grinding and gonna be putting out some new stuff in the future. Been kind of crazy as far as like my other work stuff, like I'm teaching and doing all this other stuff. But that's going to be opening up in the future. I'll have more time to devote to this kind of stuff.
If you're a venue, definitely check out the music video that we put out that features BossRoss and his talents and his set. That's the thing. EDM night's not a closed thing. I'm all about house shows. I'm all about independent DJ night at, wherever is interested and that can draw a crowd and people want it. That it's so funny. Like, I think I was a little jaded before I met BossRoss, because some of the music videos I did before is kind of like we want everything, but we don't want to pay anything. There's that aspect. I would really enjoy the music, and it kind of soured me for like a little bit.
Yeah.
Like Ross came in with like a very reasonable budget, and we maxed out what we could produce for what he could provide monetarily.
Mm-hmm.
And and then that's the thing is that like, I mean, I was listening to your music like the other day. Like I just pop it in the headphones and ride around and stuff like that. Like it's true and real. So, but yeah, if you any vendors out there that or not vendors, venues that witnesses BossRoss's video or into it, understand what he does, like feel free to reach out to him via his Instagram @BossRossX, or reach out to me and I can pass on the message.
Awesome, guys. And if I'm not 100% sure what we all have in stock at Tone Tailors as far as DJ and EDM gear, definitely microphones are there. I think JP has a couple fun things for DJs in stock. So, Carlo, were you just there at our new location a couple weeks ago? Did I hear
Yeah, so Veto, who's my music video partner, actually moved into an apartment just around the corner. So I was over at his place dropping off some equipment, and I was like, "Oh, I wonder if Levi works out of Tone Tailors." So, and I hadn't stopped in the new location, which is super sweet.
Yeah.
And John and JP are great. Love talking to those guys. They've always been super cool. So yeah,
Awesome.
I just drop in.
Good. Awesome. Yeah. And downtown Lancaster just moved back. Tone Tailors there, open, I believe, 7 days a week. So please check that out for any of your music or gear needs. Follow us on Instagram, of course. And ladies and gentlemen, please do everything you can to support our friends, Karlo and Ross. Go see an EDM show, buy a ticket, do something, support the music scene in Lancaster. And ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you next time on Tone Tailors Podcast. See you, everybody.